Hello, friends. Welcome to the Truth to You Daily Podcast with Brother Scott. We are thrilled that you have taken time out of your day to explore with us God's timeless truth. Regardless of who we are, we all need the light of God's Word to illuminate our path for this day. And now, here is our youth pastor, Brother Scott.
All right, welcome back. It's another day, and it's a new day. It's Tuesday, March the 22nd. And I'm so thrilled that you've taken some time out of your day to spend it here with us. We are in the book of Psalms, doing some wonderful study and finding hopefully some treasures within the context of the book of Psalms that was often used as set to music and would be used as songs that they would sing in that day. But we'll be looking at some really neat themes here in just a moment. Before we get there, though, let's look at our memory verses. Proverbs 3 and verse 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Proverbs 3, verse 13. One more time. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Proverbs 3:13. Let's be in pursuit of those today. And we're going to notice here Psalm 137 and verse 1, and we're going to talk about sort of an interesting psalm here. But notice what the verse says. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. You know, there may not be many of them, but Psalm 137 is, in fact, a sad psalm. The context here, what's happening in this psalm is that which, when the Babylonian captivity begins, right? Nebuchadnezzar comes down, he besieges the city of Jerusalem, he takes away some of the smartest, talented, royal people of the day, takes them back to Babylon, and of course, there we have the book of Daniel that catalogs all of that. But the record here is but a window into the sadness, really, that must have been experienced on their way to Babylon. And that's really what's taking place here in this psalm. You think about those words, you know, as they traveled back by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. So this psalm here is about a journey. It's about an instance, a moment in time that is being remembered here. And as they journeyed to the pagan land of Babylon, God's people knew that their lives were never going to be the same. The Babylonian captivity, it was slotted to last some 70 years, and they would have knew that if they were listening to Jeremiah, because he told them that, and they would have known that for themselves. But for most of these people who were going to Babylon, there would be no coming back to Jerusalem. Maybe there'd be some who were very young that would get the chance to see Jerusalem again, the broken down city that it would be when they found it 70 years later. But for the most part, there would be no more worship in the magnificent temple. That would be destroyed. There would be no more freedom of worship to Jehovah, and no more freedom to pursue their God. You know, as they traveled, they had but one prayer unto the Lord. In this sad and sobering psalm, you see what that prayer was. And their prayer was that they would never forget what they had in Jerusalem or the God that they had served. And notice these words again, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. We wept when we remembered Zion. That word Zion there is referring to that great city, Jerusalem. So this is a sad psalm. There's not a ton of these, but you could just tell this is a psalm of remembrance. And they're asking the Lord, help me not to forget what we had. You know, they pleaded with the Lord that they would remember. And, sometimes it takes a sad moment in our lives to remember the goodness of the Lord. And when we have those moments, that are maybe troublesome or difficult, and yet we can draw strength from the good times, the things that God has done for us in the past. That's very good, but I think it's even more hurtful when we're sitting by the wayside like these people were contemplating self-inflicted wounds, right? I mean, this wasn't just some trouble that had come onto them spur of the moment. This was something that was the result of their wayward hearts, and God was judging them. And so this is a very sad and somber moment here, because not only were they remembering the glory of what they had, but there had to be a certain level of grief and frustration because of the fact that these were self-inflicted wounds that they were dealing with. So, there's all kinds of psalms. There's praise psalms. There's songs of joy and psalms of remembrance. But this truly is a sad psalm. And let's be careful about repeating some of the mistakes of the past here in regards to the children of Israel. Let's learn from these self-inflicted mistakes, and let's not find ourselves in that place that they were. We can avoid this altogether. You can't avoid trouble, but you can avoid self-inflicted wounds. And so let's try to do that today. Okay, before we go, let's mention our teenager of the day, and it's Ezra. We're praying for Ezra, so let's take some time to do that today and ask the Lord to be a great blessing to Ezra, help him in his school and in his responsibilities, whatever those may be. I know he'd appreciate that. Okay, hey, thanks for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow to study some more timeless truth. Take care.
If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to hit the subscribe button or even share it with a friend. Until next time, God bless.